Welcome everyone to the Football Officials Educational Video for the 2025 season as we get ready to start the season this week here in North Carolina. This week we're going to talk about illegal substitution, a little bit about illegal participation, and have a play we're going to take a look at, and then we'll come back again like we always do and talk more in depth about this play and break this play down. Let's get into our play for this week. Okay, here's our play we're going to look at this week. We're going to look at this play right here. I have highlighted inside the circle, number 30 on the defense. And a player has entered the game, and number 30 here is attempting to get off the field prior to the snap. And we're going to see number 30 running over here, and then we have the snap. So let's take a couple of things and break this play down and talk about it a little bit more in depth. As we come back to this play, I have a still shot here of the player, number 30, attempting to leave the field right inside the circle, and an arrow at the time of the snap. So this player is clearly on the field of play, about approximately 5 yards or 2 strides, as we will see. So I'm going to ask you a series of questions to see if you can answer these questions before we get further into this play. By rule of the National Federation of High School Sports, is this a foul? Next, is this illegal substitution or illegal participation? What officials are responsible for seeing this and penalizing it on this play? Next, what is the enforcement spot if the penalty marker is put down on the field on this play? Would you put your penalty marker down on this play in a game? Those are some questions just to think about prior to getting into this play further. But as we can see right here, like I said, this player is 2 strides or approximately 5 yards onto the field when the ball is snapped. Now, by Rule 3, Section 7, Article 4, it says, during a down, a replaced player or substitute who attempts unsuccessfully to leave the field and who does not participate in or affect the play constitutes illegal substitution. It's clear this player does not get off the field, but does not impact this play. So this would be, per the rule, an illegal substitution. Let's discuss this a little bit further. So let's say we have the foul for illegal substitution on defense. Where would we enforce this penalty from? Well, if we look in our casebook, page 33, underneath substitutions, 371, it states, if a replaced player or substitute attempts to leave the field but does not get off prior to the snap, the foul is considered as having occurred simultaneously with the snap, and the penalty is enforced from the previous spot on this play. So we would need to communicate to that coach that can you take the results of the play or have the penalty enforced from the previous spot. So as I already said, this play was 1st and 10 from the 21. They netted 3 yards on this play. So we need to communicate to the coach that if he accepts the penalty for illegal substitution in a defense, then the enforcement would be from the 21, 5-yard penalty, and be 1st and 5 from the 26-yard line. If he takes the results of the play, then we would have a 2nd down from the 24-yard line, which would be 2nd and 7. This is a play that shows why it's really important that we have effective and quality communication with our coaches, because we need to clearly communicate to the coach that these are his options and make sure he understands his options. Take the results or go to the previous spot. Obviously, on this play, taking the enforcement of the illegal substitution would net him more yards and provide him with a 1st and 5 situation. But if they would have run this ball for a big gain, 20, 30 yards, then obviously you would want to decline this penalty and accept the results of the play. That's why it's important that we clearly and effectively communicate to the coach their choices. Let's talk a little bit about the mechanics of what officials are responsible for seeing this. So if we look at our mechanics manual, we know that it indicates that the back judge and line judge are primarily responsible for counting the defense. So in this case, this is on the line judge's side of the field. And obviously, it is also the side of the field. You can see that the back judge, his keys are on. So it makes it a little bit more easier for the back judge also to see this. But the back judge and line judge would be responsible for this since they're counting the defense. Now, it does bring in a little bit of a challenge for the line judge, obviously, because as this arrow indicates, the line judge is also looking for the snap and any pre-snap violations down the line of scrimmage, which requires a lot of focus. But again, the line judge has to work on this to be able to see this. But the back judge does not have that same, concern about encroachment or false start or so forth. And like I said already, the keys in this play just happen to be on that side for the back judge. And the back judge can also see that this player is not off the field. So ideally, yes, we would like to see the line judge and the back judge have a marker down. But if we just had one official having the marker down, if we're going to put a marker down for illegal substitution on this play, because obviously this player did not participate. So this would be an illegal substitution foul. But if this player turned around and participated, then we would have an illegal participation play. Let's talk about one more aspect of this play for this week's video. So as we look at this play, again, I want to switch things up and I want to talk about, so this player is coming off the field, but I wanted to say, I don't have a video for this, but let's just say this player is coming onto the field, making 12 on the defense instead of going off, coming on, but does not participate. Okay. That would be illegal substitution. If they come on the field late, make 12 on the defense, and do not, let me repeat that, do not participate. But I want to make some point clear here when you look in the case book, again on page 33 under substitutions. Number 6, it states, if a replaced player or substitute enters the field during the down but does not participate, it is a foul for illegal substitution by a non-player, 5-yard penalty from the succeeding spot. So keep that in mind. Very interesting. Player comes off the field in the defense, they get a foul for illegal substitution. It's the previous spot enforcement. If they come on the field and do not participate, it is the succeeding spot. So keep that in mind on plays like this. So this play really illustrates how important communication is. As we already talked about communicating to the coach, the options for the enforcement spot of the results of play, but we also, as an official, if we do put our penalty marker down for an illegal substitution, our flag on this play, we need to clearly communicate to our referee what we have, such as illegal substitution, not illegal participation. But we also need to clearly communicate to our referee that whether the player, as I have indicated the arrows here, in this case, on this play, the player was leaving the field. But if they were coming onto the field to make 12 and didn't participate, we have two different enforcement spots, either the previous spot or the succeeding spot. So this play really indicates how important it is that we use our communication skills, and make sure that we're communicating effectively in the correct information, and that person we're communicating to, whether it be the coach or another official, understands what we are conveying to them or communicating to them. So keep up your good communication skills and you'll get these plays right on the field. Thanks for joining me this week. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video and previous videos. Feel free to hit the share, like button, so forth, comment on this play. And until our next time, take care. And with next week, beginning of the season, we will have a few more plays to take a look at as we have in the past. Have a great week.